So someone asked me to do a developer diary about the announcements that both CryEngine and Unreal 4 will be available very inexpensively. And what does this mean for the industry, and I don't know, my thoughts on it. So firstly, I think this is a really great thing. Because basically anytime, quality tools are made available for inexpensive prices, it really opens up game development to a wider audience. But as far as what this means, let me first take a step back. So if you look at the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation, a lot of developers were making, these big budget AAA development, and Unreal 3 was that was their bread and butter, is they sold a lot to AAA studios. But the whole landscape has changed for, PS4, Xbox One, there's less games being made, and they're by huge studios, and a lot of them have internal tech or company tech. Like, I don't know this for a fact, but it seems like a lot of games at EA are now being made on Frostbite. So Frostbite is the engine that DICE made for their games, and it seems like EA is saying, okay, everyone, across the board, use our tech. And I suspect most major publishers will sort of have their own internal tech, and I mean, at least to me, that's sort of what Bethesda purchasing id meant. That's what it meant to me, is like, hey, now we can use id's current and future tech across all Elder Scrolls and all sorts of stuff. So I mean, like, I think the idea of having a tech per publisher makes a lot of sense, because, developing tech is hard and expensive, and middleware licensing for a AAA studio can get expensive, but also it can require, basically, you're sort of locked into the schedule of another company, which, may be good, may be bad. And I mean, certainly, not that I think there's much weight to this lawsuit, but there was the, Two Human lawsuit versus Epic. Silicon Knights, they said, we needed the tech at this point, and it ruined our game because Epic didn't deliver it. And of course, then Silicon Knights just stole their source code, it sounds like, which I don't think they really have any legal right to do so, even if the tech wasn't delivered on time. But anyway, but I mean, like, it can be tough if you're saying, I need this tech done at this point. And there was a big thing, the previous generation middleware was renderware. So in the PS2 days, everyone pretty much used renderware, or a lot of companies used renderware. I think GTA, I know at Heavy Iron we used renderware, and one of the things is we were thinking about moving to Xbox 360, PS3 development, and renderware 4 was not where it needed to be at that time. And I know at least one game, Crackdown, basically ported renderware from Xbox to Xbox 360 in order to ship their game. And I don't think they use renderware 4 for that, because I don't think renderware 4 is out. And I think a lot of people actually, I know Crimson Dragon was in Unreal 3 and they ported that. I think a couple others. So I mean, like, it can be tough when the schedule of another company doesn't quite line up with yours. But I think so I guess what I'm saying is the AAA studios, I think, are less interested in middleware, sharing their tech with companies, having dependencies on these other companies, because the other thing is, what if Epic got bought? Which it sort of kind of got bought, like a 50% stake or something by some Chinese something or another. So I would say that the big companies, for their super AAA projects are probably less interested in middleware. The thing that I think Epic and Crytek are noticing is that a lot of games now are being created in the mobile and the indie space. And of course, the default choice for mobile and indie space is Unity. And personally, I've had terrible experiences with Unity, and so I'd much rather use anything else, probably. I mean, I guess I don't know until I tried it, and I don't have any experience with Unreal or CryEngine, but I suspect I would have a better time with those than Unity. But I mean, basically, I think Unity is sort of owning this market, and Epic and of course Crytek, realized that because of their previous business models, they can't really get a foothold in that market, right? Because Unity is leaps and bounds cheaper than Unreal 3 was. I mean, in most cases, well, I think pretty much in every case, I guess, especially with the free versions and blah blah blah. So I mean, I think Epic and Crytek are like, we can compete with Unity because we have tech that is probably more impressive. I mean, Unity is not going to ship super high performance games, right? Like, it's just not optimized. It's designed around ease of use. But I mean, I think Unreal gives you a lot of tools and things to make it easier to make games, but also it's optimized like crazy. And I mean, certainly there are some really great looking games of last generation that used Unreal. So basically it seems like they're changing the business models to compete with Unity, which I think is great because that puts more pressure on Unity to deliver a high performance engine, and then Unity of course put cost pressure on Epic and Crytek to deliver low cost engines. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing, and I'm excited to see where it goes and to see how the tools and tech evolve. So that's my thoughts.